we're talking about the resurrection of Jesus. And it reminds me of the story of these three guys who died, and they're at the kind of the entrance gates, the pearly gates of heaven, trying to see if they're going to make it in or not. And St. Peter looks at them, and they look a little sketchy, to be honest, and he's not so sure that any of them are going to be able to make it into heaven. So he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to come up with a little simple test to see if they can maybe get in here. I don't know. So he says to them, he says, okay, all you got to do is answer me this question: what is Easter? And the person says, oh, I know what that is. He says, it's a holiday that we celebrate, and we're thankful for all of the things that we have, and we remember the pilgrims who came to America, and we eat turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce. And he stops and says, hold on. You're thinking of Thanksgiving. That's not even a religious holiday. This isn't Easter that you're even thinking about. And St. Peter's like, I don't know what to do. He goes to the next guy and says, tell me what Easter is. And the second guy says, oh, I know what Easter is. It's all about this giant bunny, and he bounces around, and he lays eggs everywhere, and kids find the eggs, and they eat them, and it's welcoming spring. And St. Peter says, let me stop you right there. You're kind of closer than the last guy, but bunnies, they don't lay eggs, okay? And that's not really the real meaning of what Easter even is. And he goes to the third guy, and the third guy says, oh, I know what Easter is. He says, this is when we remember that Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that he went to the cross and he was brutally crucified. And St. Peter's like, okay, finally somebody gets it. He was crucified on the cross, and after he died on the cross, they took his body down and they laid him in the tomb. And then after 3 days, if he comes out of the tomb and sees his shadow, then he'll go back in, and we know there's 6 more weeks of winter. It's not a true story, folks, so don't, that's heresy. No, it's not real. But Jesus was known for his miracle-working power. When Jesus walked this earth, he was known for the power that he had, the miracles. We know that he calmed storms. He calmed wind and waves. He healed the sick. He restored sight to the blind. He fed thousands with just a few loaves of bread and fish. He walked on water, but nothing compared to what he was about to do. This was Jesus' most amazing miracle, and it was the one that proved that he had been given all power on heaven and on earth. Everything had been leading to this. Everything had been leading up to this point in time. Now imagine if someone gave you an envelope like this, confidential. And in the envelope, it had listed the exact day, time, and means that you were going to die. Would you open that envelope? Like some of you are like, yeah, I'm strangely curious to know. I don't know if I would want to open the envelope. If it had the exact day and time and how I would meet my Maker, I'm not so sure I would want to open this and find out what my fate was. But the death of Jesus had been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years. In fact, if you study the Bible at all, in the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, this is the first part of the Bible, way before Jesus came on the scene, you see that it predicts that a Messiah would be coming. And it predicts that he would experience a death like no other. It says in Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5, it says, but he was pierced for our rebellion. It goes on to say he was crushed for our sins. He was beaten so that we could be whole. He was whipped so we could be healed. And all of us, like sheep, have strayed away. We have left God's path to follow our own, yet the Lord laid on him the sins of us all. See, this wasn't what was supposed to happen to a Messiah. Bad things weren't supposed to happen to to a Messiah. They were looking for a Messiah who would rule them and bring freedom from their oppressors. They were looking for a champion. See, prophecies like this, they didn't want to talk about these prophecies about him being beaten and bruised. See, they didn't want to hear about him dying a horrible death. But what does it say in the end there? It says, yet the Lord laid on him the sins of us all, because in your notes, Jesus came to forgive our sins. All of us have sinned. You've sinned and I've sinned. And we've all sinned, and Jesus came to forgive our sins.